Hello, on behalf of PCG Academia, a gold service provider of DSpace, we would like to welcome you today at this webinar, during which we'll cover proven and effective strategies for implementing DSpace repository at your institution. And it doesn't really matter if you use an old version of DSpace, old version of ePrints, or any other repository for that matter. As PCG, we have project and process experience that is required to safely and smoothly get you to the newest version of DSpace. And not only that, but also to provide you with some ongoing support, development of custom features, and further growth of your repository. There are three of us in the studio today. My name is Łukasz Nowak, and I lead PCG Academia as the president of the board. Here with me is Mateusz Adamiak, who is the general manager of Academia, responsible for project management and methodology, which are both key from the standpoint of defining our approach to DSpace implementations. And then there's Piotr Masalski, the leader of our DSpace development team. To the best of our knowledge, one of the largest and most capable DSpace teams in this part of Europe. So, as you are all aware, the introduction of DSpace 7 in 2021 sparked a worldwide migration of institutions to DSpace 7 and further versions. We certainly saw that growth, that interest in Poland, where there are several institutions using different versions of DSpace. And we are very proud to say that we participated in a lot of those migrations. Most importantly, we helped to migrate two of the largest repositories in Poland, one at the Jagiellonian University in Krakow, and the other one at the Warsaw University. Globally, based on the information that we gathered, only about 5% of all of the DSpace users migrated successfully to DSpace 7 or further versions. And this is because we think this is quite a challenging, demanding process from the standpoint of technology transition, project management, change management. So you'll ask why it is important to migrate, why DSpace migration is even required. Well, the differences between DSpace 7 and DSpace 6 and previous versions were so significant that DSpace Consortium decided to cease all of the work on those old versions. So that means you'll no longer be able to enjoy regular updates, new functionalities, and security patches. And this is particularly important for everybody who are located in the European Union because of the recently passed NIS2 directive regarding the common standards of cybersecurity in the European Union. However, if you do decide to update yourself to the newest version of DSpace, you'll be the part of the fastest growing repository project in the world, and you'll enjoy all of the latest new functionalities, development, and community support that goes with it. So, why is DSpace migration challenging? In short, because of the technology gap between the version 7 and 6, it's much more complex process than migrating from DSpace 4 to 5 and from 5 to 6. And that's why we like to call it the end of do-it-yourself era, because we think that smaller teams and individuals who are specialized in DSpace technology will struggle with managing such a big and complex process. And this complexity stems from several things. Part of it is related to data mapping and successfully migrating the information from one repository to another. Also, the key challenge is to move your custom developed features and integrations from the old version to the new one. And then there are several nuances related to accessibility, responsiveness, user interface and experience that is very important for any kind of repository project. So why is PCG uniquely qualified to do this type of project for you? Well, first of all, we are an integral part of a big American company called Public Consulting Group. We have almost 40 years of experience in public sector technology and management consulting. And so we use this organizational experience, strong financial standing of PCG, and we're able to deliver the most complex, the most comprehensive DSpace implementations that there are. Secondly, as PCG Academia, we're the gold service provider of DSpace, which means that we contribute a lot of code and a lot of support to the DSpace community. We develop custom new features for our clients, and we are well qualified to deliver the type of quality service that you need here. And finally, we're very proud of the dedicated project management methodology that we developed based on our previously delivered DSpace projects and implementations. We call it IRIS, which stands for Innovative Repository Implementation Strategies, and this model is custom fit to any type of institutions, whether you're small, medium, or large size institution using DSpace. This methodology can be adjusted to your needs. And Mateusz will tell you more about our IRIS approach.
Thanks, Łukasz. Today I will be walking you through our IRIS methodology, which is a structured approach for migrating or implementing digital scientific achievement repositories in universities or other institutions. It's specifically focusing on DSpace technology. While necessary, the migration from older DSpace versions or implementing it from the get-go can be challenging. This transition requires meticulous data mapping and consideration of custom developments that can align with the newer versions, along with UI and UX enhancements to improve user interactions. To tackle that, we have designed a project management methodology based on PMI's PMBOK with elements of Agile and lessons learned from our own projects, best practices from past implementations. We call it IRIS. In the next couple of slides, we'll guide you through each phase of IRIS, pointing out its main advantages. Our process begins with a thorough needs assessment, which is critical for defining the scope, schedule, and budget of the DSpace migration project. In this phase, we conduct structured interviews with stakeholders from your institution. We cover several essential areas. First of all, data structure and volume. We analyze your current repository's resources, how collections are organized, and the metadata model you're using. Understanding the structure helps us plan the most efficient and accurate migration. Existing integrations. Many institutions have custom integrations with other systems, like library catalogs or research databases. We take stock of these and ensure a seamless experience post-migration. Next, custom features and workflows. If you have any unique workflows, custom reports, or other features developed over time, we identify how to best replicate or improve them in a new DSpace version. This helps us avoid any functionality loss during the project. UX and UI requirements. For a truly tailored solution, we assess the user experience, design preferences, and accessibility needs. This might include adherence to your institution's brand guidelines or a specific look and feel that resonates with your users. And lastly, we discuss IT-related factors, such as server requirements, cloud compatibility, and any security protocols to ensure your new DSpace setup is robust and aligned with your institution's policies. This assessment phase is comprehensive. It allows us to deliver a well-scoped project with a clear timeline and budget. On average, DSpace projects take between 3 and 6 months, but the needs assessments give us a realistic understanding of what are your needs, what's possible, and when can we deliver it. Once we've completed the needs assessment and signed the contract, we can launch the actual project. It begins with the project initiation phase. This is where we lay down the framework for effective project governance and communication to keep everything on track. This is how it works. First, we schedule a kickoff meeting, preferably in person at your institution's building with all of your stakeholders present. During the meeting, we lay groundwork for all future actions. The most important ones are identifying power users, who are representatives of your organization that can provide input and make decisions throughout the entire project, and establishing a steering committee composed of decision makers from your institution, as well as project managers and representatives from our team, which usually is Łukasz. The committee provides high-level guidance, strategic decision-making, and handles any escalations that may occur. We also share and fine-tune the project plan that will help us track the progress and make corrections throughout the entire project until it's completed. But most importantly, communication throughout the project is key. This is why we implement a structured communication plan that includes weekly status meetings where we review progress, discuss challenges, and adjust as needed. We record these meetings for easy reference, and our team documents every detail so that no information is lost. Our approach is to engage and empower the project team. From project initiation onward, the team is actively involved in shaping the solution, ensuring that it meets both technical requirements and end-user expectations. The project initiation phase is designed to build momentum and ensure that all parties are aligned and committed to the project's success. And now Piotr will tell you about all the nitty and gritty.
Thank you, Mateusz. So, when we are done with initiation of the project, it is a time to roll up our sleeves and get to work. Before we go technical, I would like to emphasize the importance of the preliminary analysis. As Mateusz mentioned during the kickoff meeting, we choose the power users and they have their equivalents in the implementation team at PCG site. They would consist usually of substantive experts, data migration specialists, IT technicians, developers, and of course, user experience and graphic designers. Working together, we confirm the document that will be a base for any further implementation. At that stage, we already have a basic installation, so it is a time to do all of the configuration, development, and migration. As Łukasz previously explained, it doesn't really matter whether you have the previous version of DSpace, any other system like ePrints, Digital Commons, or maybe your data is spread across many other systems or databases. We will just simply make this migration happen for you. Then we join our forces together to do some user tests and any improvements if they are needed. And finally, we are responsible for all of the security and performance tests. That was the theory, but how to achieve it? First of all, we had been waiting for DSpace 7 for a very long time, and we were not disappointed with the results, especially when it comes to Angular technology. Finally, we have a tool that gives us a possibility to implement that kind of outstanding graphical design. Just take a look at the screen on the right. It is still DSpace 7, but carefully styled by our team for Academy of Fine Arts in Krakow. It provides an unique interactive experience while staying fully compatible with DSpace standards. I encourage you to visit this live repository and see for yourself. You are probably wondering how do we organize this process of creating designs such different than standard DSpace look and feel. We usually start with analysis of university websites and ask for a brand book or any other recommendations for creating the electric contents that work at your university. For instance, here you can see the brand book of Jagiellonian University, and then on the right, the front page of the repository that we've developed. When we have all of the materials, we go to the list of mockups containing at least front page, search results, collections pages, and publication or achievement pages. Then we can create page layout proposals for you. Usually, we provide you with a few design options so that we can lead this process to your complete satisfaction. There are no limits on iterations. We work as long as you say, we love it. Here on the screen, there are the recommendations from the University of Zurich on the left, and next to it, our proposal for the publication page. When we are ready with the basic designs, it is a time to talk about the features. We can divide them to the standard ones like access management, embargo, duplicates, and of course all of the integrations. But on the other side, there are some additional needs that you may want to be developed. Working with PCG Academia gives you an unique advantage to use dozens of features that we have created. For instance, instead of starting from the scratch, you can use our pre-configured metadata model for all types of publications and other achievements, even in the CRIS model, such as patents, projects, or even entities of scientists and universities' faculties. But what if your needs are exceptional? No worries, we'll face them. Doing so, we keep in mind that configuration is always better than coding and customizations because it doesn't affect the ability to easily upgrade to the next versions. Of course, wherever required, we can provide you with the custom development that is fully compliant with DSpace code standards and our SDLC processes. That is why the code that we produce for you could be contributed to any future DSpace versions. DSpace is all about being compliant with standards and using the most from its integrations. Working with this solution for several years has taught us that the tricky thing with a lot of built-in features is that even though they are available out of the box, they need to be configured, especially the integrations. It is usually very difficult when you try to do this on your own, but if you work with us, we are the ones to do the job. At the implementation phase, we just simply follow our arrangements and easily configure data flows from and to the systems like Scopus, Web of Science, Crossref, OrcID, PubMed, Sherpa Romeo, and in DSpace 8 also DataCite, OpenAir, and Core Notify protocol. If you need any additional metrics like dimensions, plums, or even citations data from Scopus or Web of Science, it is also very easy for us to configure it for you. Standard DSpace publication page doesn't offer a lot of customization, while the customer needs are very often more sophisticated. As you can see, at this example coming from the Jagiellonian University implementation, any needs like custom tabs, different page layout, additional metrics, visualization of licenses and statistics aren't any trouble for us to implement. Previously, I've mentioned a set of pre-configured functions that you may want to use in your DSpace. One of the greatest examples is the reports module. It allows you to use multi-facet search based on combination of filters and then create your own custom report containing any data that is easily exported to the standards such as any kind of citations, PDF, BibTeX, RIS, or just the tables in Excel files. Just before I pass the floor to Mateusz again, I would like to draw your attention to the importance of accessibility. Unfortunately, standard DSpace implementation needs some improvements. As a PCG Academia, we have successfully managed to contribute some important fixes to the community, but there is still a lot to be done. Having that in mind, we are exclusively offering to all of our clients DSpace distributions that is fully WCAG 2.2 compatible. When we talk about accessibility, we very often think only about the fancy contrast mode, ability to change font size and access the page at low resolution devices. Whereas in reality, it is a lot more. In PCG, we developed such important features like access to the page navigation from your keyboard or being fully compatible with JAWS screen readers.
After development, we enter the training phase, which typically lasts 2 to 3 weeks. Our goal here is to ensure that your team can effectively use the new DSpace platform and its custom features. Here is how we approach training. First, we create customized training plan. Each training session and related materials are tailored to reflect the specific configuration and custom features of your repository. This means that we are not just teaching generic DSpace skills. Instead, we are focusing on the exact tools and workflows that your team will use day to day. We also provide comprehensive user-friendly training materials that your team can refer back to as needed. These materials are also updated with any new features or updates, so you always have the latest information at hand. Throughout the training itself, you will have access to a dedicated PCG consultant who can answer questions and address additional needs. This consultant ensures that any additional requests identified by end users during training are promptly addressed. If this means additional configuration or development is required, we apply the change request process that allows you to decide how to tackle it. Beyond the training sessions, we provide in-depth technical and functional documentation that's easily accessible for our training platform. This way, your team has a solid reference library that supports them even after the training is complete. The training phase is about empowerment. We want your users to feel confident and capable in navigating the new system, so they can leverage its full potential. With training complete, we move into the production release phase, where we take the system live. This phase involves several important steps. First, we conduct a seamless data migration to ensure all your existing records, metadata, and content transfer accurately to the new DSpace environment. This process is rigorously tested to verify data integrity and completeness. Before the final release, our team conducts extensive testing in the live environment. This includes both automated and manual testing to ensure everything works smoothly and meets the required performance standards. Based on feedback from training and testing, we make any final configuration. This ensures that the live system reflects all custom features, workflows, and user preferences identified during the project. We also often recommend a soft launch period, where key stakeholders and a small group of users can test the system before full deployment. This allows us to collect final feedback and make any last-minute adjustments. Finally, we make sure that your new repository is properly indexed by Google Scholar and all other crawlers that collect information on scientific achievements. Our team is on standby during the production release, providing support to address any issues that may arise. This ensures a smooth transition from the legacy system to the new DSpace environment. However, we are in this for a long run. This means that while the system go live does not mean that we are done with our job, we are still there to support you. After the repository is launched, we work with your team to review the project in detail. We document what went well and identify areas for improvement. This knowledge becomes a valuable asset for future projects that we hope to conduct together with you. We start with a comprehensive review of the project involving all key stakeholders, including the project team and representatives from your institution. During this review, we evaluate each stage, from the needs assessment and project initiation up to the system development and go live. We ensure that we understand what worked well and what could be done better. Once we've gathered and discussed the insights, we compile them into a formal lessons learned document. This document serves as a project record and a knowledge base that can guide your institution in the future projects. It is shared with all stakeholders for transparency and as a foundation for future collaboration. By thoroughly evaluating every aspect of the project, we not only enhance our service delivery, but also ensure that your institution has a repository that continually improves and adapts to the changing requirements.
Thank you, Mateusz. For PCG, the end of the implementation project is in actuality just the beginning of our collaboration, because there are numerous ways in which you can modify, integrate, and grow your DSpace platform, and we're here to help you do that. One of the key challenges of DSpace users is staying up to date with the current very dynamic development of the platform led by Lyrasis consortium. And yes, we know that there's nothing complicated about going online, downloading the newest version of DSpace and installing it on your server, but the key is to do that in such a way that doesn't interrupt your custom functionalities, custom integrations, your specific user interface. And we know how to do that securely outside of the core DSpace code. That's why staying up to date is actually at the core of our SLA agreement that we sign with all of our DSpace clients. But certainly this is not the only asset of our SLA agreement. Under this contract, you get to collaborate with a dedicated PCG consultant who is responsible for communication with you via one of the available channels, either through our ticketing system or through Teams or simply by phone. You can contact us to issue unlimited number of tickets in our ticketing system that we then process through our SDLC process. You can also schedule unlimited number of meetings and consultations just to ask questions and make sure that you use your repository to the fullest of its capacity. So, if you're liked what you saw and what you heard today, we invite you to schedule one-on-one consultations with PCG Academia. We'll be happy to meet with you, walk you through our demonstration site and show you all of the key highlights, all of the custom development that we've done to our clients. And based on that, we'll take a closer look at your repository, at your particular needs, and we'll come back to you with a very precise project plan and pricing. You can contact us by either email or by phone. We are very happy that you participated in our webinar, and we hope to meet with you either in person or online. Thank you very much on my behalf, Mateusz and Piotr. It was very nice to meet you today.